Hi, my name is Chris from Journey Beyond Overland, and today we've been sent a new set of taillights for our JK from LED Factory Mart. But the big question of today is going to be, can a woman like me on one leg, can I install these? We're going to find out today just how easy or how hard these are to install. These taillights are clearly marked, as you can see right there. It says R for right, so we know exactly where they're going in. Obviously the contour of this headlight's going to tell you which side it ought to be on also. Okay, so every few years on these original stock taillights, you have to go in and you have to replace the bulb. These new LEDs, the whole idea is hopefully that you won't have to ever go back and replace those bulbs because it's LED, which should last indefinitely. And so on these particular lights, you also have 3M tape, two-sided tape to try and seal this up so you're going to be able to better protect from water incursion, dust incursion, things like that, because you don't need to take it off to replace the bulbs. These lights are also a JL style replacement, so this is going to update our JK to look a little bit more like the more modern JL tail light. These lights came very well packaged. They were very well seated in their box. I haven't seen any problems with any cosmetic defects, marring, problems in shipping. So it looks like they were well packaged and ready to go. So the first step we need to take is to remove the old tail light, and then we're going to figure out how to install the new one. You're going to need either a screwdriver or one of these handy dandy things. Alright, so the next thing we need to do is we need to take this apart right here. You have to push down on that and pull that out right there so we can take the old tail light out. In case you're curious, yes, ours is just a little dirty right now. Because there is double-sided tape on this, one of the first things we want to do is make sure the area where the double-sided tape is going to end up is clean and clear so it's going to adhere properly. So we're going to go ahead and use some brake clear. And a rag. I'm going to use that to steam.
It's too bad we don't have smell-o-vision.
Smell-o-vision?
That stuff is
I
stinky.
can smell it a little bit. Back over here. And you'll notice around the edges here there are areas where the paint has been rubbed away over the years because of that taillight fit. And down here on this is also where paint is missing. And we're rusted a little bit here. We're going to put some touch-up paint on that. I don't smell the brake clean as much as I'm smelling the touch-up paint. In order to install these after you've taken off the tail light and you've touched up anything you want to touch up to prevent rust or corrosion or any problems like that, the next step I have to do is I need to go ahead and take the mounting bracket off of these. Now, these mounting pieces should come up easily. If they do not, there's a possibility that these particular clips here have attached onto the front. If you have to remove those, please make sure you do it carefully so that you don't break these clips or these clips, because you do need to put this particular mounting bracket on first and on separately. You'll see here, I'm going to show you how to dry fit it. This way you know it's fitting exactly the way you want. These particular clips right here are going to slide around the back edge here, and this is going to line up in the middle hole there, and then these screw holes should both line up directly with your screw holes. So to dry fit it, I'm going to slide those. There we go, now I've got it lined up. Slide those clips behind the plate on this side. Make sure that your screw holes line up directly here and here. There's a little bit of wiggle room because you can go up and down, but that's exactly why you may want to dry fit this first, is because when you take that tape off, when you take that extra layer of tape off and you put it on here, you pretty much got that one shot to get the tape right. If you don't get the tape right, this might be a disaster trying to take it off and put it back on again. So again, highly recommend dry fitting it first so you know exactly what you're expecting and exactly how you need to line these up so that that tape doesn't get stuck so early you can't move it. So the next thing I need to do is I need to peel this double-sided tape off. Alright, now we're going to take it over here. Make sure you've got your clips going the right way. So these clips are going to go towards the outside edge. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to slide it on there. So next you're going to go ahead, once you've got it in place and lined up, make sure that tape is adhering properly, so push back against that. You can see we've already started our screws to make sure that those holes are lined up exactly where we need to be. So the next step we're going to take is to put those screws all the way in so then we can mount the rest of this tail light. You might want to make sure you're not using real high power because you don't want to strip the plastic or anything else like that. There we go. They're both tight and on. And yes, I'm standing on one leg to do this. It's very fun when you have to balance like that. According to Bill, this is hand lotion for electrical connections. So don't forget your dielectric grease. This will help those connections seal a lot better, keep the water and the dirt and the muck out of them. So I'm going to take a little bit of this. There's some on the bottle and straight off of it. And I'm just going to rub that here on those connections so that they're going to seal better when I clip this back together. Next step is I've got to pull this out of here. Make sure you're lining it up properly. So you've got the bump out on the top here lined up. You should also be able to see that there are 4 prongs going out of there. They should line up with the 4 places in here that have space for that. And it should clip straight together. Factory Mart calls this particular module an EMC. It's also known as a CAN bus. This is the control, the computer control that essentially prevents the flickering on the camera. We hope that's going to work out. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. It's also going to help talk to the computer better so that it will accept these particular lights instead of the original incandescents. So there are clips on this particular side which are going to clip right in here when you put this in. And then there are going to be 2 screws on the other side that you will need to put in. I'm going to try and make sure all of this wiring goes into the back. Get it all lined up. There, that clipped right in. And now, on this side, these 2 screw holes right here, we're going to go ahead and we're going to have to put some screws in there, and then that'll seal this tight up against the back of the Jeep. Alright, this is some of the hardware that comes with this particular set. These are the screws that I'm going to be using right here. So I just need 2 of those screws. I'm going to do one at a time so I don't drop them on the floor and lose them. There you go.
I just want to point out a few things I do like. For instance, the updated look from the old JK light to the JL is a nice feature. The only big concern I have is the difference in thickness and dimension. They are so much thicker with the amount of off-roading we do. I'm hoping they're not going to be in harm's way and end up getting broken. These were tucked away and been safe since 2013. Are these? We'll see. We've already popped the JT's taillights out by bumping up against the bank, and I'm afraid it's going to happen to these also. We're going to take them out, and we're going to use them, and we're going to find out. We'll just have to watch the videos to see how that turns out.
If you're wondering what kind of adventures those new taillights are likely to go on, here's just a glimpse of several of our past adventures. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. Tell us where you'd like to see us take those new taillights. But until we see you again on our next adventure, make sure to go out and find your own adventure.